Hi Earth Signs, welcome to your September 2018 reading with me, Eriu from Eriu Tarot Readings. So happy to have you here with me today, guys. Hope you're well. So this is for all the Earth Signs, Virgo, Taurus and Capricorn, and I'm going to make this video a little bit longer than the individual ones just so that you get more out of it, and you may hear things, you know, if I did a shorter reading there could be more that I need to say, and I get to say it in this one. You know, my Gemini rising likes to talk a lot, but I hope you're all very well. How are things going with you guys? To my new subscribers, you're very welcome here. I do swear, I know I have to say this all the time, I do swear the odd time, it's nothing major. I'm just a very passionate person, so you should probably know that in advance. And to my old subscribers, how are you getting on? I've missed you guys. I'm so happy to be doing these videos again. I just did the Libra video, I always said Libra, air signs video. That was the first one because I'm a Libra. I did Libra, Gemini and Aquarius, and that was about 30 odd minutes long. So hopefully I'll keep this one a little bit short because that was very emotionally invested. That was there was a lot of feelings going on. And I don't know what's going to pop up for you for this one, so let's check it out though. 9 card spread for you. So grab your drink of choice, pull up a chair, chill out with me, and let's see what's going on for you for September. Beautiful Earth Signs. Oh. 5 of Rods, okay. I'm actually just going to take that as the overall energy for this month. For some of you may be feeling that you're at a crossroads. I mean, we could say that there is some sort of confrontation or involvement of a very dramatic scenario that you're in at the moment that you don't want to be in. I feel like this is you. You're just like, why am I even here with these people? These people are gossiping down here. You're like, why am I even here? This has nothing to do with me. Yeah, grand. Can I go now? Or some of you maybe have gotten yourselves caught up in a net of, I keep hearing net of lies, but it's not yours, it's somebody else's. And I'm also hearing the word of manipulation. That's very interesting. If some of you are feeling that that resonates to a certain part of your life, let's check this out and see if that comes out more so in the spread. And I'm just doing this so randomly. I mean, look, random. I like to go to the top. So we'll take past, present and future for September. Alright, just to see kind of where you're coming from, where you are and where you're going, right? Fair enough, fair enough. Oh, okay, so Capricorn, hey, you just showed up in this. Very interesting, right? So for the Cappies that are out there, you may be feeling really quite strong vibrations this month. Or you may just kind of be feeling things have finally settled for you. And I keep hearing like the dust has settled. There may be something that, and this isn't obviously just for Cappies, but because this energy is here, it might be very important for you to know this. That the message here is saying for you that there may have been things that you have been experiencing the last few months that caused a lot of upheaval for you. It could have been emotional, it could have been spiritual, it could have been mental, it could have actually been physical and geographical as well. And now the roots have started to grow and you're feeling a bit more stable than you have before. That's what I'll say to Cappies out there. So my lovely Earth Signs, you're coming out of a really interesting energy. Some of you may have been tied to someone romantically, or you may have been tied to someone in a partner or business scenario, or just someone that was quite close to you. You're connected in a certain way. Doesn't need to be romantic. It could be. Doesn't need to be though. And there's something about this that I feel, what I'm hearing is like, it's about time that this finished. There's an ending to this, and I never get that with the Devil card, because it is about being connected still to toxic scenarios, relationships, and being involved with someone who may escalate the more negative parts of you. So it's about a connection with someone that just brings out the worst in you, okay? And you do that to them. It's very equal in that. So no one is kind of worse than the other. It's equal play and equal part between the two parties involved. But it's very important to know that this is about one person. It's not about 2, 3 or 4. Now, I know I said that here, that you could be involved in something where you're like, I shouldn't be here. Why am I here? This is done. There could be people around you that's also involved in this scenario, or that somehow got themselves involved into your, I keep hearing, into your private life. People should not have been, I'm hearing people should not have been doing what they were doing, and people should have kept their mouth shut. That's what I heard. That's very specific. That's not passive aggressive. That is aggressive. And and it's confrontational, it's upfront, but it comes with a smooth delivery. Like, it's not all up in your face, just like they should keep their mouth shut. Whatever this partnership was that wasn't working, it's very important for you that you get out of that, or that you start to see the wood for the trees. That it's not that this person is a bad person that you were connected with. This could have been like another earth sign that you were even seeing, but it's not good. Why? You guys rubbed each other up the wrong way, and it's not, maybe that was something that kind of sparked a great friendship initially with this person within this scenario, but now it's just kind of like you just grate on each other and you're like, oh. It's like, remember that film The War of the Roses with Danny DeVito and was it Kathleen Turner and Michael Douglas? If you've never seen that film, watch that film. It is hilarious, but it just shows how love can turn to hate so quickly, and people can be so destructive towards one another. And this is what this is. It's like The War of the Roses, like who's going to stand the test of time while you both try and annihilate one another, and unintentionally at times too. So consider this is kind of going now for you, because I feel like you've walked away from this, and it had to be you, it wasn't the other person. But this is good for you. I think you know this. I don't feel like I need to tell you, lovely earth sign, that this was about time. And this could even be a friendship, or this could be someone in your family where you're like, do you know, I can't do this anymore. And sometimes as well, when you have a lot of people around, you're like, this is family, and it's gossip as well. Now, I don't know, hold on, let me just hear this. I'm hearing the gossip may have been true, but still it's gossip at the end of the day. It's not concrete. Whatever you heard with regards to this person, it's not concrete. It's not. And whoever, okay, this is for some of you, I just heard whoever told you a specific thing that you were concerned about, you questioned the validity and their intent, you were right to, because they got it wrong. They're wrong. That's what I'm hearing. Now, good, right, so what is this? Okay, so this feels quite toxic, as I said, but it's really great because what I'm seeing is you just kind of abandoning that and being in this Queen of Cups energy. And remember, we don't need to be male or female to embody this Queen of Cups energy. This is kind of just saying to you, look, I value my emotional side and my sensitivity more than being involved in winning the war. I don't want to. I don't want to be at war. That's what I'm hearing a lot of you. I don't want to be at war. I don't want to be stuck in this. Look, I have a whole cup of love. I am the goddamn Queen of Cups. And look at my cup. Look how big my cup is. Look how big my cup is. And she's just a beautiful person to be. It's also being in this very emotionally driven, what's the word I'm looking for? Emotionally driven position. Where normally you guys may have fought your corner a little bit more, but I think you're just fed up with that, and you're fed up with that approach. So you're like, no, do you know what? Forget about you. I'm going into this Queen of Cups energy. I want to be happier. I want to be lighter in myself, and I just want to not have to deal with this. I think you're trying to heal yourself as well. Well, from whatever the harshness of this scenario was with this person, you're trying to heal yourself a bit emotionally, but I don't think it's a massive thing. I think you're just more putting emotional emphasis on yourself, just so you can kind of check in with yourself a little bit and be kinder a little bit more to yourself, you know, and not always be the one who goes into battle, because sometimes that's what that can be. Now, you have the Two of Swords here, so interesting to me, because I feel you walking away. I feel you in a nice power, to be quite honest. So I'm seeing this Two of Swords and I'm like, what's going on, Earth sign? What is the decision that you feel you have to make? Because I think you've made it. Now, it could be a case that you are looking back on this. I don't see that though. You're facing outward to me here and you're facing outward to me here. But why have you decided to put the blindfold on? You know you have to make a choice in something. Now I'm hearing you have options. You have two options, right? Options. So normally the Two of Swords is about making a decision about something, but it's about really looking at it for what it is, using a microscope in order to look at the fine details and then make a really good decision that you are happy with and that you can live with. Now the Two of Swords here though, I'm like, why is this here though, Earth sign? Because you could potentially be going back, but I want to see what this is. What's kind of going on here with you? Okay. If this is a love thing, Oh. Oh. Oh, earth sign. Oh, you had me fooled. Little did I know. Right, so that's done. When I was saying that was done, I might as well just put this over here. That's done. See you later. It's not about this. I knew this didn't feel connected. I was like, oh, could be going back, but not really. I didn't feel that. This feels like this. So many of you may have the opportunity to become involved with two different people. There's something going on here. You have a new beginning in love, if this was a love connection, and this is very old and tired and stale, and nothing could be salvaged from that. That's what I'm hearing, so it's gone. No disrespect to it, but you know yourself, it's pretty much dunzos. But do you have a possibility of a new beginning in love? Can you see that? Yeah. Maybe I'll just move these guys over here. Now this is your recent past as well, so you guys just may be really sexy lately. Although, aren't we in Virgo season? Yeah, we're in Virgo season, so I'm not surprised. You guys are probably just on fire. But you have to make a decision on whether or not to choose between two people. So some of you may have a Leo or a Sag, or some of you may have an air sign. Now there is vast differences in these two people, and I'm not surprised and you're like, oh, I don't really know if I want to kind of go into it, if I really want to look at it. Do I really have to make a decision? I feel like you're on the parameters of both of these people. You just walk, you're walking the tightrope in between, and you have a new beginning in love. And you also, like, this is a card, and I don't just want to say love because it's rods, or as we know it to be wands. This is about you having a new beginning in your spiritual development through love. So it's important to note that. And I think you do understand that, earth sign, because you come with this. And this level of femininity that can be found in both men and women is very attractive. It's emotional security as well. Like, you're okay with your emotions and to display them. And, you know, to knowing when to give a certain emotion as well to someone when they need it, and to request it back. And it's really, people are very drawn to this Queen of Cups energy. But there's two people that have either caught your eye. Oh, hold on a second. Right, the Leo, Aries or Sag, and it doesn't need to be. It can be anyone that just displays those characteristics. Is, I mean, intense is not the word, right? You've met someone recently, or someone is within your sphere that is very, very intense, but a very lovely person, very warm. And then on the flip side, you have someone who's quite different, someone who's trying to sort their life out a little bit. This person has their life sorted, by the way. No question. I'm also hearing that for some of you, this person could be in the military, and that you could be conversing online with them. That's what I just heard. Someone who is your, yeah, because I'm seeing a lot of Facebook Messenger. And a lot of beep, 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 blue and white. I'm seeing a lot of that. So some of you could be involved with someone or getting to know someone on that level that depicts this strength card energy. Or it could be a Gemini, Aries, Gemini, Libra or Aquarius that is kind of oh. Okay, so I see this now. You're really sexually attracted to this person, you're somewhat romantically attracted to this person, and you're trying to figure out which way to go. Yes, because this person isn't giving you all their time. They're not kind of giving you all their time, they're not kind of communicating that much. They are communicating that much. They're not too much, they're there, but there's more sexual attraction with them. This is your recent past, my darlings. I feel like it's very present though. Let's check out your next three cards. Oh. Very nice. Oh my. Oh my. So I think what you're feeling coming into the middle of kind of September with regards to this scenario, my lovely earth sign, is that either way you're going to miss out on an opportunity. And I think that's what's kind of putting you off making a decision, going ahead with either or. I have to say though, this doesn't feel like a major part of your life right now. It's coming up. So when these things come up for you, it's saying that these things need to be addressed, yeah? Because there's confusion, or it could be on your mind quite a bit. But what I'm seeing here is that you're not completely emotionally overwhelmed by having to deal with this. This is what I'm hearing. But you do know yourself that either way, you're going to have to make a decision. And now this decision could be with one or the other, or it could be staying single, taking care of myself a bit more, or being with someone, because it's a really high possibility that, especially that with that the person who depicts the characteristics of the Leo, Aries and Sag, and this, that strength card, like they are very, I feel them being very traditional, very like family orientated. We're about marriage, we'll have 2.4 kids, you know, is that the phrase, 2.4 to whatever, I don't know the ratio, I don't care. Yeah, you know what I mean? Very like, they're telling you, I want this, I want that, and they're very, I mean, they have no problem telling you this either. But then on the flip side, you have the other person who's completely opposite, who is probably a bit more whimsical, who's a bit more light in energy, and probably that's why you're kind of geared towards them a little bit. But yet they're not giving you that lovely love and attention that the other person is. There is, you are going to miss out. I mean, if you pick one or the other, or none, of course, you will be thinking, have I chosen the right person? And when I said this isn't taking over your entire life, it's not. But it's bringing forth questions of how you deal with your love scenarios or scenarios with people. Now, I felt that as a love scenario. I'll keep it a bit more broad for some of you as well. And I'll say that there are, you could be involved in an argument or a debate with two people and you feel like you love them both, but you need to choose between them. That's what I'm hearing as well. I just want to keep it broad because I just don't want to go straight to love. But I do feel that this is about your development in how you approach relationships now, especially after this one. Especially, and I think that's why there's a little bit of apprehension about making the decision, because I know earth signs. Oh, I know you. I love you. I think you're fantastic. Because oh my, are you just so pragmatic? And that could be a cliche, but I honestly, no, do you know what, it's not, because it's a compliment. You're so pragmatic, you know what you want and you go for it. But there's something about this that you're actually really considering. I'm even hearing like, do I want to give this a go? It's about time you kind of took off the blindfold and looked at what this is. And I actually don't think it's about these two people. I think it's about you. And you feeling like now that you don't, that you want to be you, that you, in some ways you want to be free, but there's a fear of missing out on a really good opportunity because it's there. And because it's love, and because we get scared sometimes because we think, oh Jesus, love, like that doesn't come around every day. Jesus, I don't get that much attention off people all the time. Well, they're really invested in me, like, whoa, that's really nice. So there is that fear, and I think that's what it's about for you, because you've come out of this weird, not weird, but transitional phase. Well, you guys just didn't. I'm hearing Scorpio so much. What? Hold on one second. That's very odd. I'm hearing Disco Inferno. That song. I don't know if that is relevant to any of you. Excuse me, but I just heard Burn Baby Burn and then it just started playing. So if it is relevant to you, write it in the comment section because I'd love to know if that was like, that made sense for anyone. I always get songs as well as messages. But this is about you making a decision on yourself, okay? You're telling me, the cards are telling me it's about making a decision on these two people, but it's actually about you making a decision on yourself. And the fear of missing an opportunity that could be good for you is actually quite scary. And that's why you're kind of not picking. You're kind of going, as an earth sign, you're going, well, I think, you know, people talk about this universe thing all the time. I think I'll just leave it up to the universe. I think, hey, universe, do you want to make this decision for me? And it can do, but it might not be the one you want, and it might not be in your favor, because it's going to go, okay, well, if you don't want control, give it to me. There's nothing you could do about it. It's, you know what it reminds me of? You know when you're like, you're going shopping, right? And you see something you don't need, like fabric softener, right? And you're like, oh, I have fabric softener at home. And you see that and you're like, oh my God, that is like, over here, say we're in euros in Ireland, in Europe. So it would be, oh my God, that's normally like €4, but I can get that for €2.50. Or I can get two for €4. And you're like, you don't need it. They're two great opportunities if you want it, but you know yourself you don't need it because you've already got fabric softener. It's stuff like that. It's like you can't miss the bargain, and this is kind of what it's like for you. It's like, I can't miss this opportunity. But how you proceed from here on out in September is more important than this. And I knew, I was standing here and I'm feeling that it's just, not that you don't care, but you're like, meh, whatevs, you know, whatevs. Because you have the Justice card in the center, and I feel like this is actually more of you coming into your own, and this is a great card to have. This is Libra, and this is a major arcana for you. And this is saying like, look, everything will be what it is meant to be in time. The law of attraction is on your side, as you've proven. It is time for you to let your life flow the way it's supposed to flow, and to stop worrying. And I'm hearing there's a lot of worry for some of you. Some of you could be at an age where you feel that you should be at a certain stage of your life. Maybe you should be married, maybe you should have kids, maybe you should have a certain career. Or maybe you've missed out on things before, and this is what's evoking this missed opportunity energy. Everything in good time. The universe is on your side, but it's trying to teach you something a bit more about yourself. What do you think that is, Earth sign? I'll ask you directly, what do you think that is? I think you know this. I think you know this. I'm actually just going to give you a second to think about this. There's something about how you may have proceeded with certain circumstances in the past, and maybe you weren't always truthful to yourself about what was going on in them. We kind of see that here. Not wanting to see, not wanting to see. And the universe is saying, look, you have the capacity to see. You are very intelligent. You have a lot of insight. But instead of the truth having to be presented to you now, you have the power to create it yourself. And that life doesn't just hang in the balance. That you can balance it out yourself too. And to not fear maybe some of the actions that you may have feared in the past. The fear of not... When I said you're pragmatic, you are. Like, no doubt. But would we be... Well, like anyone, I guess. It might be fair to say that there are some areas of your life where you choose not to choose. And this is saying you can gently take the reins on this, and everything will fall into place. Everything will balance itself out. You don't need to come from a place of fear or worry anymore. You really don't. I need you to consider this justice energy. And as I always say, what is for you will not pass you. It will not pass you. This is you sitting in this justice energy, and she's fantastic. She's beautiful. I'm not just saying that because I'm a Libra and this represents Libra. She is everything. She has a firm hand. What's the phrase? It's iron fist in a velvet glove. I think there's I do feel a lot of worry. But again, it's not regarding these people, it's about you. And maybe moving forward alone is something that scares you. Because we all want to love someone. Who doesn't love love, you know what I mean? And you have the Nine of Swords here. Got a lot of swords coming in. Nine of Swords. Air energy. Libra, Gemini and Aquarius. This is really when, you know, if you ever get a headache or a migraine and you feel the rhythm of it, especially if you're partial to it, you'll always feel this rhythm, and everyone is different, but you've got this it's a heightened sense of pain that comes along with it, you know, when you know it's getting worse and it's getting worse and it's at boiling point and you feel like your head's about to burst. That's pretty much what this Nine of Swords is. It's coming to the point of breaking. It's the point of almost just combustion. And it could be like, traditionally, yes, it keeps you up at night. You're not sleeping well. You're going to say, right, I'm going to do all this before I go to sleep. I'm going to take care of myself. I'm going to put lavender on my pillows. I'm going to read. I'm going to zen. I'm going to just stretch out my body. I'm going to do all these lovely comforting things. And then you turn off the light and your eyes are wide open. And it's about, I don't think, this isn't about you being struck by this current scenario. This is you being struck by previous times where you felt this way. And I think it's fear, and it's fear coming from your past that is debilitating to you. It really is. And like, this is, we're going from a 2 to a 9 here. You've just gone full force. You've just gone, like, just whacked straight into it. And this fear will only escalate, and this worry will only escalate if you don't kind of make the decision on yourself. You know what I'm saying? You have very powerful energies here, and I think a lot of you feel very powerful and grounded throughout the month of September. It may be ways you never really felt before, but there is this extremity a little bit as well of, I guess it's when someone tells you to take the reins of your life and you go, okay, great, I can do what I want. Wait a minute, what do I want to do? And it's the fear. It feels like you're just standing in this giant field by yourself and you're like, what direction do I take? Let me figure this out with you a little bit more. I don't think this is going to be too bad. I just think it's you, my lovely. I'm just hearing as well, I've just heard that it's okay to be alone. That's what I just heard. It's okay to be alone. Swordsy, swords, 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 and swords. Yep. So there were times in the past where you really have experienced emotional confusion. So I'm not surprised then. I feel like this Nine of Swords and Seven of Cups is coming up together to just be best friends, pals. Tarot card pals. It's like the emotional confusion has brought you as well to this Nine of Swords energy, and I feel like for a lot of you it comes in this loop system. So you're emotionally confused and then you get into your head and then the past comes up and you just keep spiraling. You just keep going and going and going. And it's the what ifs as well. If I do this, will this happen? This happened last time. Does that mean this could happen again? I don't want to feel that way again, but I do want to feel love, or I do want to feel this. But if I do, this could happen. And so you get yourself in a spiral, and I want you to consider once again, when you push all that white noise away, the actual energy and strength that you have. What are your tools that can bring you forward in this for September? Justice and the Queen of Cups. And I think that some of you, even though you know you're grounded and strong, forget your own strength. I forget your power. It's all this other white noise inside your head and around your head like a cloud that's really getting to you. But look at what you can do. Speak the truth on the matter. Take off the blindfold. Look at something for what it is. And make your decision. She goes from having 2 swords to 1 sword. She can make the decision. I'm going to say they, sorry. They can make the decision. You can make the decision. And I know the decision, though, is scary because you have to look at it. You have to look at the whole thing. But it doesn't mean that it can't be done. It doesn't mean that you'll actually find a lot of inner peace once you've decided. I think I'm hearing for a lot of you, this is about being alone. This is about being alone. You can grow from this and you can actually use your natural element in this. And I say that because we've the 3 of Pentacles here. So using this energy in the very center, which is quite strong. It's a strong backbone to have, I must say. That you can come back into your own and use your earthy elements that really work for you because you know them, they're in you, they flow through you, and so you can manifest that in the physical world as well. And this is saying, take the time to rebuild, okay? If you need to, take the time to rebuild. And you might feel quite lonely and you might feel quite alone in this process. But I don't think that's something that's... How do I phrase this? Okay, so you're not afraid to be alone when it's something that you know needs to be done, okay? When you have an objective and you have a purpose and you know how to get to that objective or to get to the end point, that is not a problem for you. You can be alone, you can do it by yourselves, hands tied behind your back, no problem. But there is the feeling of not wanting to be alone romantically, or just come back to an empty house. That's what I'm, you know, difference, right? Complete difference. And that's for most people as well. But there is an opportunity for you to rebuild and kind of, actually what I'm hearing is demolish a lot of the beliefs you thought you had about yourself already. That you can grow and work from this. And I feel a lot of strength from this 3 of Pentacles. Rebuilding oneself, carving a life out for oneself that they want, and that's what you're about. You may feel quite lost within the month of September, but I want to let you know you're going to actually be absolutely fine because you're going to get back to yourself. But do know that the pendulum will swing back and forth, and I had this for the air signs. September is always a funny month because we're coming into the end of summer, start of autumn, and it's where it's harvest time. We've sown the seeds and we're reaping the rewards now. We've watched it grow, we've invested, and now we're reaping what we have sown. And so April and September are always times of change for people. And this is also about you. I think there's a lot of taking stock as well in the month of September. There's a lot of joy in the rebuilding of the self, though, I think. Because I think you thought your life was going to go one way, then it went another. And you're trying to deal with what's being thrown at you. And I think you flowed quite well. And you've been like, well, I'm going to take it as it comes. You know, I'm trying to... Positive thinking, yeah, PMA, positive mental attitude. It's what everyone's saying these days. You know, they always say, you know, if the universe is like, it's happening this way, you roll with it. I'm an earth sign, I'm not really into that, but cool, I'll try it. And you're kind of like trying this new mantra and you feel out of your depth a little bit. And there's concern and worry, but you come back to yourself by the end of September. Yeah, you do. I can see that here. And I could just feel you getting more grounded, structure. We got a foundation, let's build. And I love seeing that. Now, my only really other concern here for you is the 7 of Swords. Because I want to know, you've so many swords on this side. So many swords. Now, this just could be you. cutting corners, but I honestly, I don't know any earth sign. I keep thinking of Virgo in particular because we're in Virgo season. I can't think. Happy birthday, Virgo. Sorry, I never said that. Happy birthday. Hope you had a lovely birthday. What was I saying? What was I saying? It's gone. Apologies. It was in and then it was out. Ah, okay, I hear you. Yeah. I hear you. Oh, my darlings, you're going to enjoy this now. This is a lovely ending. It's a lovely ending to a pretty not so nice card, because we've got Seven of Swords, which is about deception. There's somebody getting away with something. Tinker, tailor, soldier, spy. If you don't know that phrase, you check it out on Google. It'll explain a lot, and it'll mean a lot. It's always a phrase that I refer to with the Seven of Swords here. It's interesting because I thought this was you, and I said, but why on earth? I said to myself, why on earth? If we've the Three of Pentacles, why on earth would they be doing the Seven of Swords? You can't do this all by yourself. My lovely earth sign, you cannot. And you've got the Ten of Pentacles, the Ace of Pentacles, and the World card. What you want, or what you thought maybe some of you thought you couldn't have, is coming for you, but you can't do it all by yourself. And this is saying, please don't deceive yourself in thinking that it's just all you that can do this, because the rebuilding of oneself is at times a very solitary experience, and I speak from experience. I'm like a very extroverted Libra, but I go very hermit mode a lot of the time. And so I understand when you're in this midst of change, especially uncertainty, and you don't really know which way to go, you do kind of go into yourself and you think, I can do it all alone. But this is also saying that you don't have to. There's a new opportunity coming for you, and it's great. Now, this could be due to your own self-work, or it could be that it's ready for you. Sometimes we think there has to be a reason for an opportunity. Sometimes an opportunity just is, and this just is. Ace of Pentacles here is coming in to say, look, I have something very, very tangible for you, my dear. I have this opportunity. I see what you've done. I see you working hard. Do you know what I'm hearing actually? This is a reward from the universe to say, well, bloody done. Well done. Well done you. You're being rewarded for all of this. And I know, I can see some of this isn't great. Like, you don't feel great throughout a lot of this. And I don't know why, but I also feel quite nauseous. If any of you may have this feeling throughout September and think it's your health, it's because your mind, the stress level here, and the worry is making you sick. It's not anything you've eaten. It's not that you haven't exercised correctly. It's not that. It's stress and worry. And maybe it's something that you haven't seen before, right? Like, you know, because stress can come out in different ways in our body. Also, I can say that from true experience. And this opportunity is coming in saying, look, you want the Ten of Pentacles, you want the world, I'm going to give it to you. These are very much attached. These two cards come out of this ace, where you have an opportunity to have a really beautiful, lovely relationship with someone that has a very good foundation, that is quite solid in itself, that the financial rewards actually, if we're going to be very honest, the financial rewards may be very good for you. And for some reason, I'm hearing tax purposes, which is very, very particular to some of you. And having a happy home life with someone, but having it successful. And I mean this by day success, where it's like, love can't always be fireworks, right? It can't. I'm talking about everyday love, where someone takes out a bin and you didn't have to ask them for it, and they just took care of it. Oh, my Venus in Virgo loves that. I'm like, I didn't even ask you, and you just took care of business. I love people who take care of business. And this is kind of it as well. It's like everyday practical love. It's not just the fireworks, because they eventually die down. And it's also saying congrats to you in many ways, because you are creating a world that you want to be in. This wasn't good for you. And this wasn't for you, and I don't know why, but it just feels like you were pushing for something there beyond this Capricorn energy. You're pushing for something that wasn't for you. And sometimes you shouldn't need to fight as hard. And this is saying that you don't need to fight as hard. But don't deceive yourself in thinking that you're doing this alone. If an offer comes in for you that is like this, take it on board. Don't turn your back on it too much and go, well, I'm just doing this all by myself, so I can. I'm strong, I'm an independent human being, I can do this. That's wonderful, but we all need a helping hand every now and again. So turn around and acknowledge it, because it could be something really, really good for you. And I say could be, it is. Your independence comes back as well, which feels slightly wavered. Like it wavered a little bit throughout this for me too. And earth signs are fiercely independent. You come back into your own in many ways, but with a lot more growth. And see here, this is the rod and the wand. A lot of spiritual growth. You've put in the work though. So let the universe come in and help you and give you that reward. Don't do it all yourself. You don't need to. You don't need to. Alright, earth signs, this has been your reading for September 2018. If you dig what I do, please like, and also leave a comment if you are kind of struggling with this. If you would like a private reading with me, you can certainly have one. My email is at the end of this video and below this video as well. Yeah, okay, so I'm seeing a pattern now with air signs and earth signs. Something's going down. I'm going to have to look into this a bit more for you, but I hope it brought you some clarity anyway. And thank you so much for being with me today. Have a beautiful day. Think about what I said, let it settle, and then make your decision, yeah? Whatever you want. You can't go wrong, because I'll tell you why. There are opportunities that come in your life, right? And it shapes how our life moves. But you're never off the path you're supposed to be on. It just curves slightly in certain times we think it's supposed to be straight ahead. Just consider that. Have a beautiful September, my darlings. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.